Kilo Ishele, welcome back to Culture Shock with Charles. And today we continue on the topic. I didn't finish the effects of slavery and colonialism. So I want to continue today, and I'm just going to go straight to it. This video can speed up, and before you know it, time is gone. So I want to make sure I finish this topic today. Check up link on the top right hand corner of your screen. You will see our YouTube page. You can connect with other black people, especially Africans. On our page, we have a YouTube Facebook page. Did I say YouTube? Facebook page. So join us and let's work together. For you to know more about this topic, I think you need to go watch the first and second video, the effects of slavery and colonialism. You need to watch the first and second video to understand what I'm talking about. And to know more about the channel, go to the About tab, and you'll be able to get more information about what I am doing. So for those of you that have been with me from part 1 to part 2, let's dig in. Yes, I watched the last 1 minute of the video, and I saw that I was talking about this point on the colonialism side, which talks about survival mentality. This is what happens to Africans when they come here as an effect of colonialism. Colonialism is, like we define, is about coming to take over another person's land and exploit it economically. And when you exploit it economically, like I said, tribalism happens, whereby different tribes start to fight one another. And before you know it, as they are fighting one another, these exploiters, these colonialists, these colonial masters are stealing the wealth. As these people are fighting, look at Congo today. There has been war in Congo since they had independence. All the natural resources on this earth is in Congo. They have been fighting till today. And these colonial masters of Congo, French and all whatever you have, they are stealing the resources up till now. So because of that, it leaves our people in poverty. And because of that poverty, that lack, for example, in my country back home, there is lack of amenities. I tell you, my African American brothers and sisters, all the things you're taking for granted, social security, we have no social security in Africa. I will tell you, pretty much all the countries in Africa, or 99% countries in Africa don't have social security. Child support, all kind of social SSI, social security benefits. There's nothing like that. It don't exist. So because of that, these people are left in poverty, and even those that are rich back home in Africa, they are not even enjoying these public services. So because of this, there's kind of like poverty mentality, that mentality of lack. So because of that, when Africans come to the Western world, all they are thinking about is how to survive. So when you keep thinking about how to survive, you don't set yourself up, you don't set your mind up to think creatively on how to do things. I watched a documentary that is called Germs, Guns, and Steel. If you can find it on YouTube, go look for that documentary. It's called Germs, Guns, and Steel. That is what separates the Africans and the Europeans. Africans, we have the mentality of doing things manually. But Europeans industrialize every process of production. So we are used to manual things. That's why an African will come to the Western world, you're struggling, you're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You don't go on vacation. No R&R. Even our African American brothers and sisters here, they go on vacation. It is their culture. They go on vacation. So that is survival mentality. This is one of the effects of colonialism on black people. I can go deep, but I don't have much time. These YouTube videos, man, they kind of like, time speeds up. Maybe because I'm a talker. Anyway, all right. I'm going to go to the third point on slavery, effects of slavery that I have seen, that I have experienced, that I have witnessed in America, living here over 10 years. The third effect of slavery on our black people here is materialism. Materialism. I don't know if I touched on that, but materialism is about getting stuff. Getting stuff that things you don't necessarily need. What do you need iPhone 11 Pro for? what do you really need it for? I look at people get the iPhone 11 Pro. I'm not saying it's a bad product, People get things like that, gadgets like that, and you don't even utilize it up to 50%. You don't even know how the settings work, how things work in it. But because it was presented to you by the media, then you buy it. We have our African American people watching videos of artists putting on gold chain, diamonds, and all kind of bling bling. Everybody want to do that. You want to get stuff that you don't need, and before you know it, you see someone. Before you know it, they got in a car. After 6 months, that car is repoed. That repoed car mess your credit. Then before you know, you can't rent a house. Before you know, you can't get a car. You can't even get a good job. But this is not what happens with our other Caucasian counterparts, because I think they have a culture of them teaching their children how credit works. On this channel, as we go on, I'm going to introduce my mentors when it comes to the credit game. They are African American brothers. They're teaching me the credit game, and I tell you what I've learned and what I'm doing, you need to know about it. So I will be sharing about them with you. So I believe because our people were owned, when they got free, they also want to own stuff. But if you're not careful, you want to own stuff. If you're not careful, you will now have a whacked mentality about material things. You can own property. You can own stock. There's so many things you can own that increase in value. But anything you buy, anything you own that decreases in value, it don't make sense. It will make you bankrupt at the end of the day. So our people need economic education. That is our African American brothers and sisters. So, man, I see my battery is going. Anyway, let's see how far this will go. So materialism is one of the effects that I see of slavery. All right, we go to the next one. We have we'll talk about materialism for Africans too. Africans come here, they want to ride the big cars, they want to stay in the big house. I've heard stories of people having a big house, but inside the house is not furnished. They don't have furniture in it. What sense does that make? When you have this mentality of lack, especially growing up or in the environment, when you get into the environment where there is plenty, if you're not careful, if you don't get education about stuff, before you know it, you just go crazy and you'll be getting all things that you don't need. So materialism also affects our black people that come here, Africans that come over here, which is an effect of colonialism, because you've lived in lack so much, lack of amenities, lack of this, lack of that. Then when you see plenty, you don't know how to control yourself. This is an effect of slavery. Then the next one is individualism. When we talk about our African American brothers and sisters, you see, I told somebody, I said our African American culture, when it comes to community, I believe we have it the best. That communal living, and especially when it comes to talking about people and issues. It's funny that, for example, the barber shop culture, is salon culture, and the media, and social media. Black people love social media, man, which is a good thing. But the thing now is, American system is making us to become individuals instead of working together as a community. So one of the effects of slavery, not really slavery anyway, that I won't call that an effect of slavery. I will call that an effect of the system, which is happening to everybody, even Caucasian, white people, Hispanic. Individualism is a problem. So I wouldn't really call that an effect of slavery. So I will now jump to the next one, which is diet. I was talking to an African American friend, and she was telling me, she said, man, I don't know why black people eat pig intestine. You know, it's called chitlins, chicken feed, all kind of stuff. You know, the highest rate of diabetes and high blood pressure is on our African American people, on black people. We have the highest rate of diabetes and high blood pressure. Why? Because I believe from back in the day, from the stories I've heard as well, the white man is living in the house. He eats all the delicacies, all the nice things. Then at the end of the day, the chicken feet he throws away, the pig chitlins, intestines he throws away, other things he throws away. Because our people don't have what it takes to eat good. So they gather chicken feet and pig, all kind of stuff. They gather it together and cook. Man, slavery is gone. Slavery has been done and away with. We know that there's still slavery in some parts of Africa, maybe even America. I don't know facts on that, but we hear it's happening. But for the most part, we're no more living in slavery. So why do we eat all this kind of crazy diet? Our diet has to change. Our diet has to change. So I believe one of the effects of slavery is diet. Because the things people used to eat back when they were captive, why should we eat it now? We need to change it. We need to change it. So that's about the last effect of slavery that I know, that I've experienced. Those of you that know more than myself, that know much more effects, write to me, share with me, let's talk about it. But the thing I'm trying to do is to say, though we're no more slaves, though we're no more under colonial rules, but there may be the effects of these things still happening to us. We still manifesting this thing. So on the other side, we talk about the herd mentality. Herd mentality is what happens as an effect of colonialism. Our African brothers and sisters come here, and what you want to do is what the other African is doing. You don't trust the system that you're living in enough to look at different ways of doing things, different ways of making money and all that. You want to do what the other African is doing. So before you know it, everybody is a nurse, everybody wants to be a nurse. One person is a doctor, everybody wants to be a doctor. So, and also African parents don't help matters, because African parents believe the only thing you can become in life is either lawyer, doctor, or engineer. So that's herd mentality. Everybody, one person is doing it, everybody do the same thing. So that's part of the effect of colonialism, because we have been divided and we only trust our own. That's part of tribalism and nepotism. You only trust your own. So once your person from your tribe is doing one thing, you don't want to do the same thing.